Welcome back, everyone, to the Popcorn Podcast. I'm Tommy Cresta, and this is another little quick solo episode I wanted to do. It's just my LetterBoxd recap of the two films that I watched recently. Three now. And I did just finish Daredevil before I recorded this, which was unbelievable. Very excited to talk more about that with Ryan. But as of right now, I'm just going to talk about these three movies really quick. So I saw A Working Man with Jason Statham. I saw Drop, the new Blumhouse film. And then I saw Warfare by A24. Starting off with Warfare, as if you guys didn't know, I currently serve in the military since I was 18 years old, just coming up on 6 years now. And I was an infantryman. And this film follows a group of Navy SEALs on an actual mission by Ray Mendoza, the co-director and writer of this film. The whole movie is based on his memory. And Alex Garland is the other director, who, of course, you don't know Alex Garland, did Ex Machina, Civil War. He wrote 28 Days Later, 28 Weeks Later. He's one of the most talented filmmakers in the world. I'm an absolute huge fan of Alex Garland. He also did Men. This film was absolutely stunning. It was gritty. It was disturbing. It was unsettling. It was gut-wrenching. It was literally everything you can to describe a war film in the best way possible. It was truly one of the best films I think I'll see of the year. And I think it's one of the best war films ever. This film stars everyone. First off, Will Poulter, Kit Connor, Cosmo Jarvis, Michael Gandolfini, Joseph Quinn, Noah Centineo, Charles Melton, Taylor John Smith, Faroun Atai. He plays Ray Mendoza. He was unbelievable in the role. I think there was more than that. Finn Bennett as John. It was very Aidan Bradley, Henry Zaga. It was a really good cast, and they got some of the biggest names in Hollywood to work on it. Young actors in Hollywood. This film had a $20 million budget. As I said, it was by A24. Cinematographer David J. Thompson did an amazing job with this. It was a very different style of cinematography for a war film, but I really enjoyed it. I think Finn Oates, who was the editor on this project, was unbelievable while doing it. He was able to use cutting, sound design, sound editing. I know that's a different job, but he still has final editing over all this. The way they put this film together was fantastic. A quick synopsis is that a surveillance mission goes wrong for a platoon of American Navy SEALs in insurgent territory in Iraq. This movie is fast-paced. I'm pretty sure it's an hour and a half. Hour and 35 minutes, and it's in the film, it's a real hour and a half that they're fighting through. This film has a 7.9 out of 10 on IMDb, 76 on Metacritic, 95 on Google, with a 94% on Rotten Tomatoes critically, and a 93% audience score. Critic consensus is narratively cut to the bone and... Sorry, just do Rotten Tomatoes trying to get me to get rid of my cookie blocker. Narratively cut to the bone and geared up with superb filmmaking craft, Warfare invokes the primal terror of combat with unnerving power. That is a perfect way to describe this film. The combat is so fast-paced. There's a whole thing in, especially war filmmaking, when it's not done well, that they're using full auto with their rifle, their M4s. I know there is full auto saws and 240s, and they're sitting there taking their time, which I know slows fast, all that. But how I mean is that they're going from one target to the next, really aiming down their sights. It doesn't always get to be like that. It's very fast-paced, moving from target to target. You're just trying to keep these people off of you, and you're trying to gain fire superiority, and that's what they do in this movie. They move, they communicate, they are fantastic. The basic training that they went through with the actual guys that they're playing was perfectly crafted, perfectly done. I was really, really in awe of how they made this film, and then you get to see them behind the scenes, kind of like doing their training, and these guys really put it all out there. They wanted to be the best that they could be for this, and I think they all did a great job. I think the communication was unbelievable. The way they spoke, the way they acted, they had that military feel to them. The way they cleared buildings, the way they moved as a fire team was all, it was unbelievable. And I know I'm saying unbelievable, amazing, but that describes this film. It was truly one of a kind. I don't think you can make Warfare again. I think it was the perfect way to do this story, this actual true event about Ray Mendoza and his fire teams, his fire team, his squad. But yeah, it was truly unbelievable. I want to go see it again. I highly recommend if you like history, if you like war films, even if you're like not into war films, maybe but you like action films, still go see this. I'm telling you, it is unbelievable. The CQB, the close quarters combat, was unmatched in their ability to make it look as real as possible. When they start getting into firefights, it looks so well done. They're moving target to target, just trying to stay alive at this point. The audio that they use for the weapons, if you guys didn't know, when they did Civil War, Alex Garland made a decision not to muffle gunshots, which is what they do in every other film or TV show you've ever seen with guns. They muffle it so it's not as loud. They do not do this in this. There's no muffling. The guns are exactly how they sound in real life. And yeah, I'm so proud of everyone that worked on this project. And coming from someone in the military, it's a huge relief to see something so realistic that makes you feel like that is seen, and it's not. Doesn't feel like it's Hollywooded at all. There's no music. I mean, it's really well done. I really think everyone should go check it out. So but yeah, Warfare was just it. I mean, it's truly just an amazing film. I think everyone needs to go see it. So go check it out in theaters, make this movie some money, and keep Alex Garland from retiring from directing. Moving on to the second film I saw, that was Drop, the new horror movie by Blumhouse. It's very much a definitely over the top story, but it definitely works for me at least. Quick synopsis is that Violet is a widowed mother who goes on an upscale restaurant date to meet Henry, her charming and handsome date. However, her pleasant evening soon turns into a living nightmare when she receives phone messages from a mysterious, hooded figure who threatens to kill her young son and sister unless she kills Henry. This was directed by Christopher Landon, and hold on, where did it go? There we go. Directed by Christopher Landon, Megan Failey as Violet, Brandon Skellner as Henry, Violet Bean as Jen, Gabrielle Ryan as Kara, Ed Weeks as Phil, and then smaller actors. But I will say, Brandon Skellner, yeah. Um, I didn't know much about him. I knew he was in that Blake Lively movie. It's getting a bunch of controversy, and I knew that he was in 1923, the Yellowstone prequel. This dude's super charismatic. He was absolutely awesome in this. Megan Faye was also unbelievable in this. I think both their performances really carry this film, and their chemistry makes it so hard to look away. But it does currently have an 84% on Google, 6.6 out of 10 on IMDb, 65% on Metacritic, and then on Rotten Tomatoes, it currently has an 83% critic score, 80% audience score. The critic consensus is that a Hitchcockian thriller that cleverly utilizes modern technology for its twists and turns, Drop delivers on its pulpy premise while providing a welcoming showcase from the leading lady, Megan Faye. She's unbelievable. The movie's unbelievable. The cinematography was so cool. They really took chances with it. I think Gillian Jacobs did a great job with the screenplay. For such a crazy PG-13 storyline, it really keeps you on the edge of your seat. There's parts where you want to look away. It gets so awkward sometimes trying to like not awkward, like you're like, oh my god, please let this end, like covering your face. It has everything. It's funny. Their waiter in the movie was absolutely hilarious. But I think it was a really good thriller and an even better whodunit, especially with a whodunit with the new take on with technology, and how people can just start airdropping you photos now, and they just need to be within a certain distance. And the way that they play with that idea was really cool. I was a really big fan of the whole concept. I didn't think the movie was going to be good. I will say that. I was making fun of the trailer a lot, but I was definitely 100% wrong. It was absolutely a great time, and it's probably one of my favorite movies I've seen so far this year. So go check out Drop right now in theaters. And then the final film, a film that I'm not gonna lie, disappointed me, and it's very hard to do for Jason Statham, but it was A Working Man. Jason Statham is the best action hero in the world. He's always great. He does pretty much same story, but different character. But this one just does not hit the mark like the last one. Levin Cade left behind a decorated military career in the Black Ops to live a simple life of working construction. However, when the human traffickers kidnap his boss's daughter, his search to bring her home uncovers a world of corruption far greater than he could have ever imagined. This was directed by David Ayer. Producers Jason Statham, David Ayer, Sylvester Stallone, and it was also written by David Ayer and Sylvester Stallone. This was a Amazon MGM Studios film, and an MGM. I said that already. MGM and Amazon did this. Currently has 89% on Google, 87 on Fandango, 5.9 out of 10 on IMDb, and a 50% on uh, Rotten Tomatoes critically, with an 87% audience. Critics are saying an efficient action flick that delivers on the meat and potatoes of a Jason Statham vehicle while skimping out on its personality. A working man clocks in and out without much flush or flair. I 100% agree. I think it didn't have enough fun in it. It was definitely slower than most of his movies. I would have enjoyed a lot more action in it, a lot more violence. I just think it misses the mark for a Jason Statham action film, which was really heartbreaking for me to say because I watch every one of these. I go see them in theaters, but this one definitely missed the mark for me a little bit. Audiences say that the stave stoically and reliably delivers high octane action in a working man, a bang bang shoot 'em up that pairs perfectly with hot buttery popcorn. I don't agree with that. I think that there wasn't enough bang bang shoot 'em up, and it was not a perfect buttery popcorn movie. The better popcorn movie was his last one, The Beekeeper. Beekeeper was the perfect action flick, like perfect campy action movie, and I kind of wish they leaned more into this one. Um, but yeah, if you are like a diehard Jason Statham fan, you're still gonna find enjoyment in this movie. It just didn't have enough for me. So I hope his next one is back to more Jason Statham, fun action, some one-liners in there. Then that I'll be living. David Harbour was good in this though. Michael Pena, Ariana Rivas, Ava Moreau, Naomi Gonzalez, and of course Jason Statham. It's not Jason Statham's fault. It's the whole story is a little bit off for me. But those are the three movies I've been watching. I definitely think you should still go check them all out in theaters. I really had a good time with all of them. I still think Jason Statham may have missed the mark a little bit, but Warfare and Drop made up for that in every bit. Make sure to continue checking us out on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, everywhere you find us on social media, Twitch. Yeah, just go keep checking us out. Keep giving us support. We're so thankful for that. We are really going to get on a better schedule. I know we haven't been every week like we want to, but we're figuring out our schedules and we should be back to that very soon. So thank you again so much for tuning into this week's episode of the Popcorn Podcast, and we will be back to talk about Daredevil and The Last of Us.